Hello, everybody. My name is Simo. I'm from Barona. My talk is going to be more about how we in Barona have moved away from like in-house development to this kind of more partner-based model where we pick our partners and try to find good fits to our businesses and to support what we do in these days. Yeah. So, a bit about me. I'm Simo. I work as an enterprise architect in Barona, and my responsibility is to look after our employment services, staffing related ERPs, payroll stuff, HR systems that we offer to our staffing partners and try to find the best solutions to our businesses that we can provide our services as efficiently as possible. I've been in Barona working around 7 years, and 5 of those have been like internal inside of the company, and before that, a couple of years in more like consultancy role before that. And my previous experience from consultancy world is from Efficode and from Wunderdog. A bit about Barona, if not everybody is familiar what Barona is. So Barona is market leader in Finland in employment services and staffing and that kind of business area. We are really focused on providing good solutions in this kind of employment services and well-being and learning business areas these days. And then what differentiates us from the market of like purely like staffing agencies or recruitment agencies is that we are building very complex solutions with our customers and then trying to find out the best like solution fit that would bring customer value. And then we have grown a lot in past 20-25 years that we have been existing. And then these days our business is more like this solution business and a hybrid of offering staffing and then offering in-house outsourcing and then that kind of combination of the different kind of things that we have been morphed into. And a bit about the numbers, what I'm really proud of it, that we are the 9th largest employer in the Finland. And that brings so much power to us to help our customers and to help our employees to benefit. When I was looking into this topic, I stumbled around this kind of marketing slide from our company, how Barona's journey is moved from this kind of employment service model into this more strategic partner. And then when we see this kind of growth in our businesses. So in 1999, company was started and then moved fairly straightforward employment services staffing provider first years of its existence. And then we started to bring more like this specialization and what customers needed. We started offering this kind of employment services around that topic. Around 2010s, we moved more broad scope of services. We started offering learning services and then moved into well-being area, business area, and then this kind of workability stuff and work well-being services that we are these days offering to companies. And the learning side, we're doing lots of learning services in Finland, for example, with Saranen and Arfman that are part of our Barona. And then when I was thinking that how we have evolved as a like technical in this company, I tried to like map this kind of change, how we have morphed from beginning in early 2000s. We started with the self-developed ERP that handled everything inside the company. We were a much more simple company at that time, but we decided that we were brave and build our own, and that's like the spirit of the Barona overall. And then that worked really, really well. And then once we got to around 2010s, we were pushing along these kind of technical innovations. We were launching mobile TV that formed in the RecRite company that some of you might know these days. So this kind of video-based application of jobs and screening and bringing these technological benefits to the staffing and recruitment area. And then we try to stay on top of the game. Then in 2015 around, we started to see that the first iteration of our services were already getting a bit old and moved more to renew of the existing platforms and rebuild everything. And then the business growth and diversity came in. And in 2020s, we decided that maybe we don't have to do everything alone and moved along. In this timeline, I find 3 like eras or generations that I'm gonna more discuss about with you guys. So the first generation is this kind of growing business that we build our own ERP. We have every control. We form this finder, what we call the ERP, into supporting our business models and how we saw the business moving along. We could form ourselves very specific business like objects and concepts that would support our business at that time. And that was very huge thing to us, that we did get these things working. They were working very well. They were serving us. Actually, I think the last parts of that ERP were retired 2022, around that time. So quite long life cycle for that kind of application. But of course, once the business grew already in this area or already in this era, we started to getting these kind of services inside our portfolio. So maybe the biggest one would be the Salesforce that we added to our portfolio or to our architecture already before 2010. And then started building these kind of integrations between things that we build and things that we have customized for us with our partners. And we were pretty early on this kind of cloud transformation in these kind of areas. Then we also, like I mentioned, tried to push the technology forward with these kind of more modern technologies even at that time. So this kind of mobile CV, you answer recruitment questions when you have the time, and then recruiters can review it and show to the end customers that this kind of employees we would have. Do you, what you think? How we want to move forward? And then to save time and then bring more this kind of agile stuff into it. And that kind of partnership with the RecRite is continuing even this day. So we're very good partners still. But yeah, then came time to renew everything. And then mid 2020s or mid 2010s, the company had decided that now we moved into microservices. We're gonna start from scratch, and we will find the solutions that will speed us into this new era of the company, since we have already seen that this kind of one huge monolith didn't support us in business sense anymore. It was too strict, and the most of the guys who were initially building it had already left the company. And then we decided that now we will push to create a new architecture and start with the recruitment services and ATS, and then created huge with huge effort, very good ATS service. And then the mindset in our company was in that time very like startup software company. We actually separated our development bit from our core business at that time, and even tried to sell the Yelp, that ATS that we created, to broader market, but that didn't take off. And then we moved along with this kind of renewal, and then moved to the ERP and HR side. And at that stage, we started to see that software development isn't so simple, and replacing these kind of ERPs with existing solution is very hard. But creating them from scratch and thinking how you will bring the software and solution to the next era and then support future business cases, it is very hard. And then we started to have some issues with the time to market, and then that started to frustrate the management of the company, and that's understandable, since if you don't know when these huge investments start to pay off, it's really hard to continue investing in those. Also, there was a huge growth in the company around this time era. We bought a couple of smaller companies and merged, and then that brought a bit different kind of business models to our portfolio. So these companies didn't do the employment services exactly way Barona did, and then that brought its kind of own restriction. And then there came up some systems and services that they were using. They were not self-developed. They were entire products that did that kind of staffing area thing one way, and then Barona did it a bit differently. And then this is the time that we started to maybe understand more that what kind of things we need from the specialization. Around 2018, 2017, there was a huge amount of different kind of IT projects going on in this employment business area. And then we had so many teams working on so many different things that it just came to the situation that nothing moved forward, and then hedging the bets that much didn't offer Barona the best experience. And overall, then we started to move more into focusing on creating the core things to ourselves. But we had really good mindset that we can build this. We are the experts in this area, and then we have done this before, we can do it again, and even take more responsibility from, for example, payroll side to our own services, since we felt that our payroll partner at that time didn't perform or didn't offer as flexible service to us that we needed. And then that mindset kept going. And then we also tried to look alternative solutions. What can we do to speed things up? We have tried quite a lot of like low-code practices in this kind of speeding up the development. And then we have ended up with the situation that it's also development and you need to know what you're doing, even if it's not that kind of coding, but more like configuring. But overall, what from this era of the big renewals we have really benefited is that we found out these core capabilities that we need to have in our portfolio and our architecture. Those are identities, so we know and manage who are working with us, who are looking job from us, who we are, so we can provide the identities to access these all kind of services that we have created. And then focused on the data lake side. And then on understanding that we have loads of data in this business area, and then how to bring the benefit to us and our customers, and also job seekers and employees, that what we can do with that data, and then how we can improve the situations that we just could connect the dots. And to support that data lake transformation, we also formed quite solid integration architecture that can support our this kind of microservice way of thinking things, and then connecting different kind of services together. But these frustrations led this SaaS transformation era that we are currently in. So in 2022, we had quite honest discussion inside of our company that what is the best way to move forward. And then end of that discussion, we decided that based on a couple of good experiences with integrating these kind of SaaS products into our core business services, we had find out that that can work. We can make it happen. And then we decided that we will start focusing on managing all the things together and creating the best service to our customers and our business units, rather than building the ERPs ourselves and then sticking that I want to build a product, but I want to provide service. So there was a couple of years of quite intense transformation, but we were really successful in this transformation at that time. And the thing that really provided us the capability to move this into these SaaS services was these core capabilities that we have built up already, and we have gained much more understanding, and we're much more robust like technical organization at that time, that we could execute this kind of transformation quite efficiently. And then there are things going on all now, even that we are moving on more this kind of partnership approach, but this is like constant development now for us. And then we try to find good partners that we can work together. But what, as a Barona, we have learned from this kind of transformation journey? So I picked up a couple of these kind of learnings that I feel like at least I have been learning in this transformation era, and pushing this technical change along, is that you want to focus on the core capabilities that you must have, and then you don't have to do those things to yourself maybe, but you need to own the solution and then own the business outcomes that it might bring. And then these kind of things to us were these kind of flexible environments, or flexible setups that we can support our customers, identities that connect everything together, that we can easily bring, for example, new service into our ecosystem, and then connect our identities to that one and offer that to our customers or our employees that we can use. And then we don't have to send them emails that create a password for this kind of service and then create a password for that service. And then trying to figure it out that who has done what and why nothing is working. Then maybe the biggest thing that I feel that I have at least learned from this change is that understanding your own business enables you to find the best partners for you. And then this must be different for each company, that you have to start discussing with your business units and then the people doing the actual job if you are in IT side, and then trying to find out what they really need and how you can support it. And then having honest discussions with your partners that is that going to work, is that not going to work, and then trying to get like feeling of the partner that can you trust that what they say is sticking, or are they just trying to sell you that yes, we can do everything, yes, don't worry, and then in a couple of months nothing has happened, and then you have much more. It's not nice to have those discussions that why isn't this working out, why we have this friction now, why we didn't discuss these things beforehand. And that takes time with the partners to find out. And then it's really, it can be big partners or small partners. We work quite a lot with quite small Finnish tech companies that provide us services. And then those discussions are quite similar to what we have, for example, with the CRM implementation partners. You have to find this kind of same idea that what we are doing, and then be able to like form a partnership that you will move this project along together, and then everybody benefits. And then maybe quite obvious thing, but that if you evolve your architecture and technical capabilities constantly, and then you avoid the risk that you need to do everything at once. And then I feel like it feels like very obvious thing, but it also feels very natural when you look at some legacy service. I don't want to really touch it. I think we can do it better. And the complexity and the business reasons that have ended up of creating that service is always more complex that you understand in the beginning. And then that's really, really good thing to keep in mind, that if you do small things constantly and have good vision what you want to do or where you want to be in the future, you can take your time and then do it gradually, that it doesn't have to be so huge and overwhelming challenge to renew these kind of architectures along. And then I think, for example, our move from Finder to this kind of microservice architecture could have handled better if we would have maybe understood this better and then tried to find good integrations between the old and new world, and then understood that nothing or everything cannot change at the same time. That's my speech. Thank you very much.